of plants that don't belong in the lake. B is the public hearing. And this property to be assessed, see a list of property and special assessment. And it's gonna list all the properties there, it's gonna give their tax ID number. And then they're gonna be able to come in and protest the actual assessment. And this gives them notice that they also can go to the state tax tribunal if they don't agree with the thing. So you're gonna see a list of the property in Great Bear Lake, and it lists 28 properties. It tells them that the Great Bear Lake Special Assessment District is a joint special assessment district between Bloomingdale and Columbia Township, and the total cost over a 5-year period is estimated at $238,000. And it shows us from 23 to 27. And then the estimate annual cost for each year is $47,600, resulting in an estimated cost of $340 per parcel annually, totaling $1,700 over a 5-year period. And the table below represents those that are in the district. And the addresses that we put on this list are the address of actually where the property is. We also added the plate number, what post office that belongs to. There's another list that gave them their mailing address for taxes, which was the building one that was given to Christie. Then there's a map of all lakefront properties, and it's got a number on them that matches the number above, so you can tell what property owner it is. So it's got a 1 through 28 in red, and it shows where they're at on the thing and picks up all the parcels. I see number 20 is not on there now, must have disappeared.
The first map and the parcels that were shown, there were 2 of them on there that followed a river that didn't really have access to the lake that were counted originally, and those have been taken off, I see.
No, they're number 16 and 17. They're still being assessed because they have access to the lake.
Through an easement?
Through that stream there is big enough to take a boat through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
16th on there either.
That's, I see 16 on 20 and 16 on this map, but I'll fix that. They're there, I saw.
I see 20.
Oh, and we just long and skinny.
You go from 15 to 17, you go from 19 to 21, and
Yeah. 15. So there's 2
They-
numbers in there.
they just disappeared. I see I got 26 on there twice too.
Yep.
Huh. Hunter did it.
Sharp blame dog. Yeah.
I'll correct those.
Next time I take shoes off.
Any questions?
I don't know if it matters in which order you do it, but on H1, the discussion about the budget breakdown, it looks like that's supposed to be a separate vote for approving the budget for that. Just knowing, that's what it says on the agenda. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we do need to approve that because that's changing the amount of money that we have. We're gonna move back to H1 and, I need a motion to approve the Columbia Township budget estimated cost for Great Bear Lake Special Assessment District annual fee to be set at $340 annually for a 5-year assessment district.
Is that,
28 parcels located in Columbia Township.
as I'm listening and not looking at paperwork, is that already in the resolution? The amount?
Yes, it's already in the resolution. Doesn't matter.
If it's in the resolution, I don't think we need to vote on it twice.
I guess I agree with you. It might be cleaner if we do though.
It's up to you.
Hey, you guys wanna vote on it? You do, someone make a motion to vote on it. I got a motion by Rhonda. Do I have a second?
I'll say,
Gary second.
I think it's an exhibit P,
Yeah,
if I can find it.
So this is on H1, we're voting again now?
It's on each one.
Okay.
Roll call vote, Gary,
Yes.
Rhonda,
Yeah.
Ken, yes, Christie,
yes.
Beverly.
Yes. Rhonda, you motioned, Gary, you supported.
What was you looking for, Gary?
Oh, never mind.
Never mind.
We're good.
Okay, back to the resolution. We're on H2 now. Sorry about that. Haven't got my brain on tonight. We're talking about resolution 2023-003. Can I get a motion to approve that resolution, acknowledgement of the presentation of the special assessment role to the township board? Is that what it's supposed to say? Yeah.
Yeah, it's got the public notice hearing in there.
Yep.
Date.
Basically, the motion is to approve resolution 2023-003 for Great Bear Lake.
I'll move that we, accept the resolution of 2023-003 for the special assessment role for, Great Bear Lake.
I'll support.
Gary made a motion. Beverly support. Gary,
Yes.
Rhonda,
Yeah.
Ken, yes, Christie,
Yes,
Beverly.
Yes.
H3, transfer station hours. I got a few letters from people that say that they work 6 days a week and they can't get to the transfer station. And they were asking if we could increase the hours on Saturday to 5 p.m.
If it were up to me, I'd let the hours like they were until springtime and advertise, and give the public a little bit more notice. So I don't have a problem with it starting them to 5 o'clock.
Well,
five's
right now
fine.
it isn't 5 o'clock, it's 3 o'clock on,
Yeah.
Right, it's, five's fine with me.
everyone fine with 5?
My only thing that I want to state is that, you know, if we want to keep the budget the same, then we would have to cut it back when we go to the spring hours in order to keep the budget the same.
We can address that springtime. I would like to maybe hear the attendance comments on this, if any.
You want to hear from me? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, sir.
I say set it to 5 o'clock. Stop worrying about a lot of tourists here in this township and worry about your people that are here. You're not worried about your people that are here, that's gonna be here every weekend. You're more worried about your tourists is the way it's coming off to me, and you don't wanna do that. Because all you're gonna do is upset the people. So leave it alone. Make the Saturday run from 8 o'clock to 5 o'clock and the first Sunday of every month. And the budget, that's always been a joke, because that dump was not set up to make money. That dump was set up for the people. You people may not use it, but a lot of your other ones do here. And they want it back the way they had it. I'm the one that hears about it. If I say something to y'all about it, then you act like you get upset. Well, that's not what they're telling us. That's bullshit. You gotta go with the citizens. Tourists ain't here all the time. The people are. 8 to 5 on Saturday, first Sunday of every month. And it was working good till somebody decided to screw it up. Thank you. I've had my say.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for listening.
You need a motion for that?
Well, I think we ought to discuss about, right now we have a Saturday and we have a Tuesday, right?
Tuesdays during the summer, Saturdays,
Yeah.
yeah,
Right now, we're only doing Saturdays.
Yeah.
yep. And to be
And
clear,
on your Tuesdays, like I told you,
I'm not worried about Tuesday right now. I'm worried about what are we doing right now?
Saturday, right now, it's open from 10 to 3.
we're gonna extend it till 5.
10 to 5.
So we're gonna add 2 hours to our Saturday.
That work?
that sounds good. Yeah, wonderful.
Okay,
Yeah, for me,
we're gonna do
it's-
that for the rest of the winter and we'll take a look at the other hours for the summer.
We need to do that sooner than later because Ruth puts out a
Well,
piece.
we got the budget that we're gonna be looking at, let's add
I
that to
know, I
that.
just want to make sure that everybody's aware that there's paperwork that goes out to everybody that comes into the hall that says what the hours are for the year.
Yeah,
Right,
So just making sure everybody's aware of that.
all that paperwork needs to be, fixed.
so for tonight, can I get a motion to change the Saturday transfer station hours from 10 to 3 to 10 to 5?
I'll make the motion.
Beverly made a motion, can I get a second? Rhonda seconded. This is probably a money thing, so Gary,
Yes,
Rhonda,
Yeah.
Ken's yes. Beverly,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes,
one of the things that we're also trying to do, Butch, is we're trying to keep trash from being thrown on the side of the road.
Yes,
And some of the people that say that they can't get to the dump to be able to get rid of their trash only have one recourse.
it's like, well, we're sitting here discussing this, if that's your problem, open the dump. It's never gonna, the dump is never gonna make the township money. I've been here 25 years and it's never made money. It wasn't put in to make money. It was put in for the convenience of the people.
service for the township.
Yes, that's all it was for. It was never put in to make money. When I took the job over, I asked Larry, I said, Larry, is it here to make money? Is it here for the people? He says, Butch, it's here for the people. So it's never made money. And the thing with your 4 days a year free dumping, in my opinion, that's a mistake. Because the more time you have for these people to dump, the more you're gonna get it all at once. It's gonna be a steady flow. When you done away with the tickets, I think you messed up. We should have just kept the tickets, and that way they could come in. If they don't come in with a free pass, what makes you think they're gonna come in with a free dump day? I mean, it don't make sense. But y'all got the final say. Do what you want.
Okay, thanks, Butch. Moving on, H4. North Lake Special Assessment District, discussion on bids and the 2023-24 budget.
All the letters and the revision of the funds that are both are collected for winter and summertime were sent in by the president. I think it's President Jeff, an update on those,
You don't see them on my tab.
which shows a total expenses of 45,065. And total revenues come in of 47,388, so there's an excess of about $2,000, a little more than that. And the letters from their service providers both say that they're willing to wait for the monies that come in before their billing, so the monies will be there. If you're on a cycle for winter taxes, December 1st, due on February 28th, and summer is July 1st, due September 14th. So what they're doing is they're making the case that the money will be there. In the past 12 years since they've been in existence, have we ever received, or has the township ever received a delinquent notice about not having a bill paid that anybody's aware of?
Well, you know, I don't see the document that they wanted
I'm
me to
sorry, what was that
sign.
question?
If there's ever been a delinquent notice.
From any other providers.
For North Lake?
Yeah.
Yes.
When?
We
Oh,
never got the $4,000 they said they were gonna give us for,
we've had multiple times, we've had to hold the electric payment.
We've had to hold our
Um,
check.
We've had to hold the PLM checks. We've had to hold checks multiple times.
Yeah,
But they've always been paid.
They always are paid, but sometimes they've been as much as 6 to 7 months late
Is that because of the tax collection, because of the bad?
because
When
they
money
never
comes-
have enough
they never have enough funds.
funds, it seems
they
like.
spend more than their budget.
Yeah,
Often, once the tax monies come in, we'll write the couple of big checks and then there'll be like, I don't know, a couple $1,000s left to pay the rest of the bills until the next tax collection period.
So you're saying they're not underfunded, basically?
Not, something is not right, whether it's underfunded without actually looking at everything, I can't,
Or not?
or just
spending
not
within their
think
budget?
properly.
They come in with a budget, their budget we match with money, and then they spend more than what they have in the budget.
I think it's timing.
It's a.
Some of it is
It
timing,
is.
some of it is timing, but we've also received bills and they said, oh, don't pay that one because we paid it. So that's happened too.
Yeah.
Is there a way to get this synced up?
Well, according to
Is that
the
what we're
documents that they sent in, their providers, whether it be for their aeration, well, not, that's electricity, but I mean, their, like PLM and restorative lake services, and they are willing to wait for the taxes to come in before they send the billing. So hopefully that timing will be fixed.
Nice.
right now they're building revenue.
That's what?
They're
So
building revenue.
is PLM, do they bill us directly?
Yes,
And apparently they're waiting for a signed contract so they can get their permits done.
they are,
Who is?
they are.
Yeah,
It's in this email from Jeff
we
Walker.
got an email from Jeff
Oh.
Walker saying he sent it in September the first time. And then, the revenue was re-figured. And then, he sent it to, he said, the clerk and the supervisor and the other board members. And then it was redone again in, early February. And he said he's waiting for the contract to be signed to send back in.
Oh, well, if it was early February, then I don't remember getting something. Hold on.
Have you seen a contract?
Not, I didn't think I saw anything this month, but let me double check.
Restoration, is that what it would be?
That's from Jeff. Let's see.
Walker email?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And toward the bottom, it's saying he sent it in September 2022, but it's for the 2023 season.
Yeah.
I do remember that we received something at one point and then he said, wait, don't sign that
I
one.
have one here, my in basket for my email. It says it was set on the 9th day of September 2022.
Yeah,
Yeah, that looks like that's what he's referring to.
And that was for, said the scientists attended up to 2 North Lake Association meeting in 2023. And I got this thing on the 9th day of September 22, so how did I get a meeting that they had in 2023? So I thought they were talking about the 2023 agreement. And we didn't have money for that. And then it said total cost for consulting services in 2023 on North Lake will be a lump sum of $8,000. Which tells me it's 2023. Well, we haven't approved the 2023 budget yet. So I'll be signing a contract before we have dedicated the cost. I don't think I can do that. Question is, does the board want me to do that? I mean, if you tell me to sign it, I'll sign it,
Not if it's
because I work for the
illegal.
board.
I just hate to see, because of timing here, this thing get kicked down the road again, and then the permits aren't done in time. So they can't do the restoration of their lake.
All I can is, they're asking me to sign something that we have an approved budget for.
I thought that there was something else that had happened with this. I thought back.
I thought he told us not to pay attention to this at one time and that they were gonna do something else after this.
And I thought there was supposed to be an amendment made to this contract so that it wasn't $95 an hour for anything over and above.
I don't know, all the attachments that he just sent in here,
Yeah, well, the port one
February
was,
7th. February 7th. And there's, the letter from North Lake Board of Trustees
This won't let me open those attachments.
explaining the taxes and when they're gonna, you know, who's gonna wait for this. And there's 3 attachments on there from, Lake Savers, Restorative Lake Services, and along with the North Lake budget.
They don't open.
Yeah, can you open, I can't open the attachments.
you have to go out
So-
and reload it again. That's what I had to do to get it to come open.
What? You shouldn't have had to for that one. That one was already on there.
Are those live attachments or is that?
Yeah, you have to hit the little icon, not the word.
Oh. Yeah, there it goes.
The PDF.
Correct.
In February, they didn't give us
I'll take your word for it.
the contract.
Well, I saw
I mean,
an
still,
email.
I still remember that they were gonna get us a different contract.
Yeah, so January 13th, they sent a contract. We've adjusted our budget or move forward. No response. What else?
Where's data sign?
I don't understand their budget. There are things on their budget that doesn't make sense to me.
Gary, did you have the February 2nd of this year email?
What I have,
The board has contacted our 2 main vendors, Restoration Lake and Lake Savers, and have requested alignment of their
that's
invoicing.
February 7th.
Maybe you have a different one here, because this one's the second that's in this.
Yeah, that's what's supposed to
Mhm.
Says right here, it says, be aware of the contact with 2 main vendors, Restorative Lake Services and Lake Savers, Everblue, and they made a request, alignment of their invoicing with the tax cycle, procedure of the fund from the SAD. Both vendors have agreed to do this. The attachment is documented in that effect. So what they're trying to say here is these vendors will work with the tax season before they do any billing.
And they're saying per our discussion last week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we didn't get that communication.
And then you got that on the, who does that sent to?
You, it was sent to you. Right here, it says supervisor, ColumbiaTownship.com,
From,
from Jeff
Walker.
Walker, Jeff and Ann Walker. And it went to the supervisor, the clerk, the trustees,
I don't have anything from them on the
it
6th.
went to all the board members of North Lake Board.
I just looked up I looked up Walker and I don't have anything from February 7th from him.
You know, at the top of this email that's in here, it says 2/7/23, 4:53 AM at the very top of this.
Right.
But the actual email, it looks like it was sent February 2nd.
Yeah, I have an email from, on February 2nd, but
Can you
That was
guys
it.
see
That was
where
it.
where it
That
says
was
at the
2:08
top,
February 2nd.
2/7?
yeah, I have
Yeah,
February
see it.
2nd.
Will it change what
February
we want to
2nd,
do?
yeah. I added that to here,
That's where it all says what they're working for, or what they're.
but then there's no contract in that document on the second,
There was a contract in the January one,
Yeah.
January what?
13th,
That's the one that talks about 2023, right?
yes.
Yes.
I guess the board's gotta tell me if they want me to sign a contract in advance of the
If
budget.
we
approval.
had, I think what we needed to do is approve their budget, whether we approve, we could approve their budget early, because we don't have to have a hearing on that budget. So technically, we could approve their budget.
In other words, we take this budget tonight and approve their budget, then I can sign the contract.
If that's what you want to do. However, I am not. I don't know why their liability insurance is on this budget document. That confuses me.
He's just trying to be, he's trying to be as transparent as he can with what the costs are, total costs. That's all.
Oh, right.
If it's your insurance, normally it isn't.
Well, okay, but it's a cost factor. It's still a cost factor. Doesn't matter who pays it, it's a cost factor.
Who does
They gotta
pay
get their
that?
budget for their budget.
Well, the association would pay that.
And he doesn't have any,
It's not in their total numbers.
No,
It's just, yeah, they're just showing that that's something that they
Right.
pay.
there's no permit costs on here. Are they really not anticipating any?
they need a contract before they can get the permits.
Okay, but it says the
Permit
end
cost
balance
zero.
is 0, and that's without having any permit costs.
But didn't they already pay that out of their own pocket? Isn't that what they paid
That's
to
what I'm
make this go
asking.
forward?
They've paid a couple. things
I'm going
out.
from memory here, but I could be wrong.
That's what I'm asking.
If there's a deficit, the board picks it up and pays it.
So my question is, why would they put their insurance on here, but not the permits?
They're not putting the insurance as part of the total cost.
It's shown, but it's not in the cost.
Okay,
Paid by, and it says in parentheses, paid by them.
oh, I don't see that on the version I'm looking at. It just says the insurance. So,
It's dated
It
February
says on the
2nd.
bottom paid by the,
okay, let me look at the February 2nd one. I was in the other one.
I'm looking at the one that's a link in the,
Oh, they changed everything. That's, okay, that's different than the one I was looking at from January.
This is dated February 2nd.
Yeah, so even in a 15-day time period, they changed their budget.
It's fine.
So there aren't any permit costs then?
There's bound to be some kind of permit.
there's $815 in
Okay.
permit cost,
Yeah.
herbicide
Herbicide
treatment
treatment.
permit,
That's right.
$815.
Yeah, that's what that.
oh,
Says,
Okay,
I see
so they
that.
don't need any testing permits this year.
Probably.
So that's $0 for, Michigan and DEQ testing permit cost, 0.
Just making sure that we're sure that
Lake
they are gonna
Savings
meet the mission.
contract and our LS contract probably include the testing. Because they're the providers. They're the ones that would have to get the permits to do the testing.
Okay, I'm just asking because there's a 0 there. That's the only reason why I'm asking.
So, based on this information, I would think that there would be no problem with the board going along with this. Instead of kicking the can down the road and having more problems later on.
My only concern is I'm signing a contract before we have the budget approved. So if you want to approve this budget here, I think this is the same that's in the budget we're gonna approve tonight, then I can sign it.
Or they're the ones that did this budget, right?
Correct.
Yes.
Then we're not gonna pay their insurance, I don't think.
No. says
Right,
by them.
yeah, that says.
So
paid by
that's
them.
45,065.
Yep. And their estimated,
Yeah, I'm not sure they're gonna have
revenue is.
I'm not sure where they're at with their fund balance. I don't know if their fund balance is correct, but,
They checked recently with Rhonda, it said in their letter.
pardon?
In their letter, it said they recently checked with Rhonda.
And
about their-
there's been
balance.
some distribution going in there. They're up to 13,000.
In fund balance.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, they should get all their money for the winter.
So is that where it should
20
be, Rhonda?
grand.
Well, all the money isn't in yet.
no, not all the money.
Not all, I know, not all the money's in it, but they're gonna have that. So
Yeah, they're gonna have.
are you making a motion to approve their budget as stated in the February? What date was that?
February 2nd, 23 date,
Yeah,
email IM.
yeah, February 2nd, 2023.
I second.
So Gary made a motion, Rhonda seconded it. Gary,
Yes.
Rhonda?
Yes,
Yeah, if we approve that, yes. Christie? No, I can take it.
I'm gonna say no, not,
That's only because I said yes. Beverly?
Yes.
I'm just not.
Okay, I'll, sign that tonight. Before I leave. I'll print off the February,
So that was a motion
Well,
to
how about you?
approve
They're by
North Lake Sad's.
what contract am I signing?
the one that
And it
says-
was
2023.
When did the one they sent in September,
motion.
September of 2022?
Well, I'll tell you what,
Rhonda second. Moved,
if it were me,
Christie, no.
I would email Jeff and say, we approved your contract or your budget that you sent in on February 2nd, 23.
Yeah,
We approved that. We received the contract on September, whatever it was. Is that the one you want me to sign? Or is there a revised contract
Kristen
coming?
said January 18th, right?
okay, I'll get a
Yeah,
hold of
but
Jeff. I'll
you're
send him
not
an
gonna,
email and I'll find out.
If not, I'll do it.
I'm gonna,
I'll take care of it. I don't have a problem calling or emailing.
I'm gonna tell you right now that they're gonna have to send you an amended version. Because it says that you signed it in September.
And
Who says I signed it in September?
The documentation says it.
Yeah, I will line that off initially. Put it right
I know,
there.
that's why I'm just telling you, Beth, I'm gonna send you. an update.
so we're
Okay.
gonna have our
Our
budget special meeting.
Back to them.
Could we take care of any business that we
They
need to
never got
finish this up
Copy of the
at that
contract
meeting
tonight?
then?
Then they probably need it.
They wrote on there that it was signed on such and such a date, and it wasn't.
Oh.
I'll work it out with him.
And I know that that they've done this in the past and he's had to have them change it. It says the contract made on the 9th day of September, which it's not, because he hasn't signed it yet.
Well, it doesn't say it was signed, it said it was made then, it was sent.
But it's not because he didn't sign it.
Okay,
I just know what Ken's gonna say, so I'm just telling you, Ken's gonna wanna change it.
I'll talk to him. Like I said, if I line it out, initial and data, initials and data, we can move forward. Okay, did we kill that one?
I think it's dead and bled.
Done and blood. Let's go to the handbook revision 507. Anyone have a problem with 507?
I think it's okay.
Gary says it's okay. Anyone else? Chrissy, you got a problem with it?
Yep,
Okay, good. I'm glad you have a problem. Okay, she's only one vote. We know we don't have hers. Rhonda?
Well, what's?
Problem, it
what's the
doesn't have a
issue?
problem. I don't have a problem.
the
How-
problem is we are not approving the budget by line item,
Well, we're not done with the budget yet.
but this says we're going to
Well,
approve
so
it by line
you have
item.
to have a proper line on a budget for the expense and approval of the department head.
Yeah,
Yep, But
Well, that's a
What's wrong with
line
that?
item.
because we're not approving the budget by line item.
It's telling that the department head for all travel, he must have a line item budget.
Having proper line item budget. for
It doesn't say that he can use, he can use the money from anywhere else for the side of that line item budget.
But we don't approve a line item budget.
It's not done yet.
Well, I don't really wanna do a line item, but this tells for business travel, all business travel needs a line item budget.
Well, that would be
That would
like
be, a-
training. Do they have a budget for
they
training?
are not.
Partying. Do they
Line
have a
item
budget
budget,
for
so this will
partying?
be, if we pass this, every budget from here on out will always be a no for me. I'm just telling you right now. It will be. That is, it's too much work. It creates a ton of issues.
But it's,
for-
to me, it's the way you're reading it. It's not saying that if we approve this, it's going to change the way you do the budget process.
Oh, yes, it will.
Only for travel.
But you can't approve a line item for one topic and not the others.
This is,
It's gotta be you can approve departments, which is what.
this is saying having proper line item budget. It's just saying that there's enough money in the budget. So can we just change it to say that there's enough designated money in the budget?
Yes. Absolutely.
Is,
Well, I'm okay with that, if you wanted to say that designated, monies in the budget,
Yes.
Yeah, but where's it gonna come from?
travel.
But if you just say that, it can come from, it can come from miscellaneous.
Well, it's gonna come from,
It has to
Well,
come from
then-
that department.
enough money in the travel budget or training budget. We don't have a travel budget.
Right, why doesn't it go in training?
I really wish you guys would all take a budget class from MTA.
okay,
I
That's
wish
all I'm
we
gonna
would
say.
all take a lot of classes from MTA.
Yep. Please take a budget class from MTA. In the meantime, if this passes with any reference to a line item, I will not vote for it or any future budget.
Well, we can't, to me, that's inappropriate to make a threat like that over this.
I don't care.
Just say what, you said what you think is wrong with it.
how about having proper budget approval for the expense and approval by the department head?
What?
Why does this have to be such a thing?
Budget approval for the expense and approval of advance by the department head. What we're trying to do is control this travel expense that it is
Because this is
budgeted.
such
and
a-
Why can't we just say having allocated funds,
All
having
business
proper
travel
allocated, properly allocated
by the
funds
department
in the
head.
budget?
The department head is responsible for complying with their budget, period. I don't even understand why we're putting this
Well,
in
when
here,
they do,
but
otherwise we just amend it. From my experience, anyway, I'm just saying, just saying.
you know what?
So what words
Do
would make
whatever you
this
guys want.
proper?
Well,
Why can't we just say,
you have
This
to
is
deal with it, and I wanna make sure
Yeah.
that you can deal with it and not interfere with your.
But I've said the same thing repeatedly, and I'm not changing my stance. It's not ever going to change. If you put line item in there, I
Well, I'm
cannot
trying
vote
to
for
take the
this.
line item out for you,
Right,
but you're
or-
not helping.
What do you want me to say? All business travel must be
Well,
approved in advance by the department head.
If we're doing that, why do we even need business travel expenses? To even talk about it in the handbook?
right,
Well, because do you want Joe Blow to sign up for training and just go?
Well, you're telling me the department head is gonna prevent that.
Right? Like, this is telling
I
employees that they.
stand by what I said. I said it's okay, I got it in red.
Okay,
Well, I don't think it's okay if we don't have the clerk, on board with it, so. We're gonna take this and, she's gonna massage it for our next meeting.
You can put in there that that they have a proper budget. But you cannot say proper line item budget.
Well, it doesn't matter if I say proper budget for the expense improvement of the department head, like official lead expense, department head one. Well, okay. They have proper budget. How about that? We'll get rid of a line item.
That's been my only
Hey,
concern.
Gary,
from
can
day
you live with
one.
that? Rhonda, can you live with that?
I don't know.
She doesn't know. Bev, can you live with that?
Yeah.
Okay, can I get a motion to eliminate the line item out of the business travel to approve 507? Make the motion, Christie.
Sure, motion made.
Christie made a
I'm
motion,
not-
got a second?
So, wait, are we, hold on. So are we approving 507 excluding the words line item?
We're getting rid of line item out of the red.
Okay, so I will make a motion to approve 507 with the exclusion of the words line item.
Okay,
And then proper budget for the expense and approval.
Yes.
by department head. I'll support that motion.
Beverly second. I guess we're gonna do a roll call on this one. Gary,
No,
Rhonda,
who made the motion? Christie?
Mhm.
I'm not understanding.
you need some time?
Yeah, I do.
Beverly,
Yes.
Ken, Jess, Christie,
Yes.
okay, Rhonda.
Wasn't enough time.
What, do you have another question, Rhonda?
Yeah, I do. So
We're just removing
If-
out
okay.
line item.
if this isn't gonna be a line item budget, where's it gonna go?
No,
They're gonna have proper budget.
there will still be proper budget. So when you create a budget for a municipality, you take, okay, for example, you do your own home budget and you have an entertainment line item. Here's an entertainment line item. Out of that entertainment line item, you might have 3 different things that you're going to say is your entertainment line item. I'm gonna go to the movies, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. So when you create your budget, you see, well, last year I spent this much money on the movies, I spent this much money on ice skating and this much money on something else. And that all combines to make your entertainment budget. When we are doing that for municipalities, we're doing the same thing. We're taking the information from each of the line items to help us make a budget for a department. We're not approving each line item because sometimes things happen. And we don't want to make amendments every month.
And so my question is, if you have a budget for training, would, to me, this is what this is under.
Well, let's just think of the part, let's think of the
Usually-
part, if you have a department and the section part contains travel in there for his salary and that, and then you got travel expenses,
Right.
or you got, training expenses, and he has so much for it, and he wants to go to one training, and then some other training comes up with MTA, and he wants to go to it, and he's got a whole bunch of extra money in that whole department. He could take some money from that and move that. And what we're saying that before he does it, he's gotta have budget for it.
I understand that.
So,
So are we each gonna have, like we do for training, we're each gonna have a travel expense budget?
you're gonna have not only travel, but for training.
Oh, so so this may change my vote.
What?
Are you saying that this means that if the department is supervisor, whatever your budget is, that if you go over on travel and you've got unspent money in,
Let me make it simple for you, then.
okay,
We approve by department, there's sections of departments approved by the department budget. You're not gonna be over our budget and require a amendment to your budget if you stay within your department budget. You can actually move stuff. But what we're trying to do here is set that there is a budget for that travel or that training in that department section that can cover the cost.
so you could take it from supplies and then,
You
Yeah, as
could,
long
but
as-
you're still gonna have to come in and make sure your budget shows that that's that by changing those line items to get it back at some point in time, but you gotta have the department head approval for that expenditure. And if you don't have the department,
Okay,
if the
and then-
department head is doing the expenditure, then you need a board member to agree with them to do that.
Okay, and we're also designated department heads at some point too, did I
Yeah, let's not go
read
there
that
yet.
somewhere? So,
That's
okay,
that's.
all right, never mind,
Speed round of vote.
I
Hey, you
understand.
understand, Rhonda? That make it
Yeah, and
simple?
it still don't sound right to me, as long as they know.
Okay, good, we passed. Dan, I know you come to visit us, so I'm gonna take a break right here in our meeting and let you visit with us.
I'm just making my rounds every year. I try and go around, hit every city, township, village. It's about a 4.5 month process, and you guys are on my list tonight. So I'm just making my rounds, just saying, hey, just a reminder, if you guys need something, reach out. Give me a call, shoot me an email. Matt Kozel's running our crew again during the week. So if you guys need something for the crew, reach out to Matt. He's your guy again. Al Boyer's still doing our weekend crew. Anything you guys got, if you're getting questions or something, if it's not in the township, Justin can't answer, holler at me and I'll take care of it for you. That's about it.
Thank you.
We appreciate you letting us have your letterhead for White and our zoning ordinance. That's gonna work out really well.
Good.
And I'd like to say whoever the female dispatcher is that you have. I
That's
don't know if
about
she's new
12
or
of them.
not. Oh, okay. So my neighbor had called me, long story short, she ended up calling the sheriff. I called the sheriff also. And she was just like wonderful.
Good.
Twice I've had to call the sheriffs and both times I got a woman who were great. Unlike whoever the really crabby man is at night.
Oh, yeah, I know.
About a year ago.
I know what you're
I'm
talking
saying?
about.
Then you get that, you gotta shoot me an email so I can look into it, because we pull tapes, honestly. If
Well-
we get a complaint that somebody's not professional on our end, I dig into it.
Well,
Gary can tell you that, I mean,
you
there's
know,
something that.
maybe
that's
it's
not
job
the image I
stress, so I don't wanna,
Yeah.
but anyway,
Yeah, he was real rude.
What's his name?
I
the
don't know,
women
I
are doing
remember.
really well. They don't
That's good.
share their name.
I'm gonna guess shit.
You're complaining about something you don't know about.
No.
No,
Don't like it to me.
no.
How many males do you have working there? You got 12 females, how many males?
There's 16 in dispatch.
Okay,
We
we got a
got,
chance, one out of 16 to figure out who it
so we
is.
got 13 females. No, I was right, 12 females, 4 males. Mike Hosteller, he's working a split, so it probably wouldn't have been him. Tim's their director, so it probably wouldn't have been him.
I called.
Should have been either Tom Bush or Chad Kirsch. He have a raspy voice like he smoked for 20 years like what?
No, one of the times.
Chad, that's right, this Chad comes off abrasive sometimes. Sorry, Butch. I gotta take that.
Well, thanks for stopping by.
You're
We
welcome.
appreciate it.
You guys need something, holler.
Thank
Good seeing
you.
everybody.
We need further
Say it out
meetings.
there.
Hey, it's only 30.
Yeah, I know, we're working on, we're actually
We're
doing
supposed
this.
to
We
be
got
out here today. That's what it is.
507 we got done. Let's do
509.
509.
Oh.
Anyone have any problems with 509 the way it's rewritten?
Yeah, I do.
Huh?
I think we should get rid of the whole thing.
I do too.
Do you think we're gonna get rid of the whole thing?
You know, for who we are.
I think we should get rid of the whole thing.
I mean,
Christie, what do you think? You don't care anymore? You gonna vote yes?
Vote yes and what?
Get rid of all 509 in this.
Why do we have to vote on it?
Huh?
Why do we have to vote on it?
Just take it out?
It's not in. We didn't vote for it.
Oh. Well, we said, but the vote said we'd bring it up at the next meeting.
So you brought it up.
Oh,
That out? I'm out.
Yeah.
Okay, it's out.
I will say that I think you should ask the attorney to draw up something that says, what kind of liability did we just expose ourselves to?
I think there's. no
I think that's a good
liability.
point. I think that's a good point, and we should do that.
the attorney said that they really don't need this, but if you want to put it in, it's your choice. So that's what he said. And you, we're gonna need that. And I'll tell you another thing, let's just need some common sense here.
I am, and I've written many, many handbooks for many, many organizations.
If you just use some common sense, if there's a question or a problem with an employee or a person wherever, anything, the first thing you do, you bring it up to them. You can say, hey, this is so, and what's going on? And if it continues, then you take it to your supervisor or your department head.
And what does that have to do with if somebody stole something?
Then that's criminal. You call it, then you call our officer. Yeah. That's the difference.
I didn't like that it even went to their car, that's too far.
Yeah.
Is it?
But to get in a theater, they do search your.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've had a really bad experience, so I don't agree with any of that, but that's beside the point.
I'm sorry for your experience, but as far as I'm concerned,
And let me tell you, the police said to me, it's a good thing that you were able to gather all that information, which we would not have been able to gather if we didn't have something like that in the handbook.
well, it's okay.
We should have brought this up while Dan was here.
You worried about any of your employees, Dave?
Never have been.
I've never said that I'm worried about anybody we have now.
Okay. 509 gone. Unless someone wants to vote to put it in. Giving you one opportunity. Gone. Page 6. Planning Commission zoning ordinance status capital improvement plan 23-24, discussion seeking timeline. Delivery products board, discuss rental, social, commercial activities in districts other than commercial master plan survey studies, reflections of zoning. Well, that says a lot about the planning commission, but really what it's doing is saying that maybe we need to have a little bit more of a report on not only what's going on with the planning commission, but maybe getting something about a schedule.
Yeah.
Looks out to say that by this time we plan on having this done, we know we gotta start this and that committees, setting them up and stuff like that. And this was, I just jotted this down so I would remember to say that it'd be nice if we had the planning commission start helping with the schedule and where they think they're at. And even if they said that we got the zoning ordinance 60% done, would be better than us knowing.
Well, that's, as soon as that finishes the tweaking that she's doing, it's on the way to the attorney for review.
And that's what we're looking for. So, you say you're 90% done, it's in the attorney's review. Was that in your weekend stuff? Did you do that this week?
Yeah, I did one this month. I haven't been doing one because they're very small.
Yeah, and I know the master plan's coming up on you. I don't know when we have to start that, but that'd be another thing to look
3 to
at.
5 years for a master plan, so I would say that's, I guess I don't know when this board wants to do the master plan again, and maybe that, I don't know if it should be based on surveys to see how much things have changed. We should be doing surveys all the time anyway.
I think we
Isn't the
should
master
budget
plan?
for that too, if we have.
I think we did. I think, didn't Cheryl put some money for survey in the budget?
Never met with her.
Okay, well, I didn't hear that from anyone, so
I know.
she wasn't at the last meetings. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will get with her and make sure this happens.
I know Friday, she said Friday mornings are good for her, and I said she can stop in any Friday morning. So,
Okay,
Okay,
good to know.
we're probably halfway done. New business. Wage schedule update. Due to minimum wage increase, the training rate for emergency services need to be updated. We're looking to amend the wage schedule to increase emergency service training rate to $12 per hour. Where are they at now?
it doesn't have to be 12. It's just putting something in there. They're at 10 right now. Just the minimum wage is higher than 10,
10.
and it's going to go up again.
You're gonna go in February on the 22nd, to that, $12 or something?
Oh, I've been having a hard
$11.98.
time following.
But
all
on their
these
paychecks,
things.
it legally has to be,
Be at least 10-10.
right.
Yeah,
Which, can I ask a question? This is the third time in a year that money's being spent out of the fire budget. The comment was made earlier that the department head is responsible for the budget. There's been money spent out of the fire budget twice that I had no idea about until stuff was being installed at Station 2. More money was spent. I had no idea how much it was when cameras and stuff were installed at Station 1. Nobody ever bothered to say anything about it. It was just installed.
you asked for the
I asked
camera.
about it right, because I was
Didn't
also
those come
told,
out of ARPA funds?
no, it came out of fire budget. I was also told that it was done purely for security reasons. And I asked the question, why wasn't anything installed at Station 1 if it wasn't for, if it was for security? There's valuable stuff at Station 1 as well. Now, tonight I look at this and I had no idea that somebody just threw a number at a wage and didn't ask me. And yet I'm being told that I have to stay within budget. I have people getting all over me because we're going over budget and payroll, and yet we're raising, we were gonna make a motion to raise it $2 an hour?
No, I just said that number was just put in there as a placeholder.
Since when on an agenda regarding a budget do we just throw numbers?
That's not an agenda, okay.
She's
It's a
just talking quick,
placeholder.
Dave, that's all that is right now. Minimum wage has already increased to
It has.
$10.10 per hour.
I thought we were already paying them $12 an hour, so I
No.
guess I'm in
Not
the.
not training hours.
Daytime pay,
Okay,
that was raised to 13 last year,
Isn't
Yeah.
the training 10?
10,
Yes.
so the training is,
$10.
And there's supposed to be significant increase time over time. We can raise it to 10-10 right now and adjust it again later. Again, the 12 was just there as the placeholder so that we had something to talk about. So 10-10 is fine with me.
Could you put in there to just keep it at minimum wage and then you don't have to keep changing it?
That's exactly what I was gonna
Yeah,
say.
that's a good idea.
so as a taxpayer who doesn't like paying taxes, I hate to say this, but why are we just keeping it at minimum wage,
It wasn't.
honestly?
It wasn't at minimum wage. It was slightly higher than minimum wage, but then minimum wage went up.
So why aren't we adjusting accordingly? To me, it's like giving them a demotion. I don't know, I just,
Well, I got a question. Have we been paying them since January 1st?
We need to backdate and I'll have to give
We can't
it,
do that,
put
can
a
we?
correction.
The 10 cents on the hour.
That's why I'm thinking maybe we ought to give them a little bit more to make up for what we haven't been paying them.
But it doesn't work that way.
we could have gave them a boatload with our money,
We could retroactively approve the wage increase
we could have,
with our motion, and then they'll have to get an adjustment for the training that has happened since January 1st.
My only comment is minimum wage is set for people that have, that's what their job is. That's what they do. So I don't see any reason to keep our fire people that are paid on call or firefighters or, at minimum wage. They have other jobs.
I agree with that.
They have other jobs. So I don't see the big added benefit.
Oh, I'm probably agreeing with something
not-
different
I'm
than I'm
not.
hearing, okay?
Yeah.
So you're saying that you feel like because they have another job, that minimum wage is okay?
That's what I'm saying.
And
Okay,
see, and I'm not saying specifically about this one that I think they should be paid higher, but I have to argue with that statement. Because if you're working over and above your 40 hours or whatever it is a week, that should be paid more. That's extra work for yourself.
But that's
That's
their
just-
choice to be in that position.
I just don't agree with the concept. I'm not saying that I want to pay them more for the training. I just don't agree with the concept.
and the training, this is for our guys who are already here, that annual trainings that they have to go to in that? Is that what this is
Yeah, the
for?
state-
What is
the
this
state
wage
has
for?
just- Has increased the number of training hours that firefighters have to comply with.
Okay,
I think it's, is it, Dave, is it 15 hours a quarter or something, or it's?
The state requires 18 hours a year of continuing education credits to keep a
Okay,
firefighter
18,
too,
okay,
but we do 24 hours a year.
okay.
okay.
So, I mean, we're well above what is required, but we do,
And what's the pay rate right now, Dave?
excuse me,
How much are you paying them for training?
$10 an hour.
$10.
I mean,
So you're 10 cents off.
So that's like, you've got someone who's an employee of the fire department. While they're doing this job, they're getting paid this much, but then when they go for their training to be able to continue doing that job, you're paying them less for it. I don't.
well, we've never paid, okay, when I joined, we made $15.35 an hour. Back in '99. We didn't make $15.35, we always made minimum wage for training. Always.
You have $7,
And you think
$7.50
that's-
back then.
Yeah.
And isn't it partly because sometimes when you're paying to train somebody, they may or may not stay with this department?
No, I mean, that's always a concern, but it's just the way it's always been because of budgetary reasons. We can't afford to pay people $19 an hour for training. I'm taxed with watching the budget. No matter what anybody thinks, I take that very seriously.
Okay, so the option would be a
Would-
training wage or sometimes up to $19.
Well, whatever they make on fire calls or EMS, I mean, it's just the way it's always been, and I know it may not sound right, and Bev, I see what you're saying, it might sound like a demotion or a cut in pay, but and it's a requirement now to train, so, I mean, I can see the argument both ways, but budgetarily, we can't afford to pay people $15, $19 an hour.
I did a survey online and picked out, I think like 15 or 18 different fire departments to see what their minimum or what their wages were, and depending on the training. I think the average was like, I don't have that sheet with me, but I think it was close to $10. Some of them were 8, some of them were the state wage and 7 something or other. Other ones, depending on their training, it was anywhere from 10 to 15. Some of them were 15 to 20, depending on the location and their demographics and the size of their department, that sort of thing. But we were in the ballpark.
Our hourly is right in range with everyone.
Yeah,
Oh, if you're good with it.
I mean, I would say 10.50, that would cover us for the next raise that they're gonna give. And because they're not gonna bump it more than, 30, 40 cents at a time.
what would be wrong with just saying minimum wage? Then you don't have to change it all.
Right. That's true.
I think we ought to entertain a motion to that, and then we'll take care of that right now.
Yeah, and you just.
Gary, you making that motion?
I would move that we increase the training pay for the fire department or to say minimum wage.
Retroactive to January 1st,
I think you
When
have
did it take
to,
effect?
January 1st.
Yeah,
I think you have to do that.
yeah.
Can I get a second? Rhonda seconded. Roll call vote, Gary,
Yeah.
Rhonda,
Yeah.
Ken's yes, Bev,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes,
thank you.
Christie, I'm still taking notes. Am I needing to?
no, you're good.
Oh,
Are you
okay.
recording?
I'll give you
Are we
what I've
recording?
got.
Out live?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Dang.
So
One,
now
two,
everybody knows that we act the same whether we're recording.
Yeah, right.
1.2, non-statutory duties assigned to elected official discussion.
Okay. I have. Non-statutory, discuss items.
How long have you been?
Okay,
Oh,
I have The Christie came out,
Oh, yeah, I didn't.
little animal right here.
Yeah.
That was blank. So I took the liberty of filling things out. And I'm not saying this is etched in stone, but I think it's pretty correct. For department activity and, mandatory statutory board commissions and for permission, but necessary. When it's got, this is where the department heads come in. So you know what's what?
Yep,
So the mandatory statutory board commissions is board review, planning commission, zoning and appeals, assessor, and the FOIA coordinator. Permissive duties is police, ordinance, fire department, zoning administration, building code enforcement, road commission, transfer station, website maintenance, newspaper ads, legal matters, independent contractors, IT people, cemetery grounds, public relations, hall rental, complaints, and weather announcements. And I kind of filled this in. First category would be authority delegated to. And under board of review, that would be delegated to the BOR. And the point person would be you, Ken, because you're the person. The responsibility of all these falls to the whole board in any of these categories. The actual responsibility falls to the board. Planning commission would be the planning commission and Beverly, because you're on, so you would be the point person for that. Zoning board of appeals and ZBA and Beverly, you would be the first person, and Lee, I think he's the chair, right? For the zoning board of appeals?
Yeah.
I think that would be, Ken,
No,
no,
the reports from planning commission, right? Or
Yeah,
overseeing
no,
the
they-
planning commission.
the ZBA is overseen by the planning commission.
Yeah.
That's why I've got you as the point person and Lee as secondary. The police chair, right?
Yes, you're
Yeah.
the chair right now.
Yeah, okay. Under the assessor, of course, that'd be Ann. And then Ken. Cause he would be the assessor. FOIA coordinator would be Christie. And another point person that we should have, I've just got a question mark yet, I don't know.
What's that?
Or
FOIA
FOIA.
coordinator. FOIA coordinator.
For your coordinator.
I can darken this in and make a copy and give it to people, that's, you know, because you're not gonna remember all.
I'm trying to write it down, but yes. But
Police,
you have a list.
police ordinance would be Van Buren County, because that's the police, and I would be the point person on that. Fire department would be Dave. And then Ken. Zoning administrator would be Beth, and the point person would be Beverly.
We put a lot of responsibility here.
Building code enforcement would be Chuck.
Hmm.
And then me. To fall under some of the light stuff.
Right.
Road commission, of course. is
I think that you've got some crossover there though, and the biggest area that all of the inspectors fall under is zoning.
Yeah. Okay,
That's all so I think there might be some pieces that should be under different people.
the inspectors though, actually, I don't know if I agree with, well, they fall under zoning with Beth somehow, but I can't do anything when they don't do their job, so.
that's right, that's right.
Other than complain,
Well, and that's what we're trying to figure out here, right?
That's why I'm on here as the point person.
Okay, so are you gonna do all inspectors?
You betcha.
Okay.
Because if I can't do it, I know who to call.
Ghostbusters?
Ghostbusters. Transfer station. Would be Butch. And then Ken. Website maintenance, of course, is Christie. And the point person on there is Christie.
what maintenance was that?
Website,
Website.
Oh, I thought you said roadside, I'm like, what?
Well, you could do roadside if you want.
No, I'm good.
Newspaper ads would be the board, or Christie, or Bruce, to get them in. Okay, legal letters, that's Foster Swift.
That's a legal responsibility of the clerk to do advertisements.
no, not to do advertisements.
No, all of
Right.
it.
Right.
Right.
That wasn't gonna be my concern, but I don't,
Well, ads Ruth could do, she can't do any publishing.
Right. Legal letters would be Foster Swift, Ken Christie and Rob.
It says legal matters.
Independent contractors, that varies. And Ken, you might be able to do that, okay?
Yeah, I think I have to sign all contracts.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got them.
IT person is Roy, of course, and Christie. The cemeteries would be Michael and Christie. Grounds is Michael and the big man. The big guy. Public relations. Public relations would be various, and that would be the board. Hall rental would be Bruce and Christie. For scheduling it, you know. Complaints would be, again, various, and it could be Ken or myself. Because most of the complaints are,
So like Paul Reynolds, Ruth would be the point person, right? The-
Yeah, sure,
Yeah,
she normally is. I
this
should
could
be
be
supervisor.
the second, third person could be even a bad. Maybe some zoning complaints. I don't know. Like I said, I just kind of threw this together here. Weather announcements would be various, but the point I think would be Dave. Because emergency services is gonna be, he's gonna get the information on tornadoes, hurricanes, floods, whatever.
Ice.
Then it would be Ken and then Ruth.
Actually, you're gonna have to put me on there. Because if we have to reschedule a meeting because of weather, that's gotta be me. I don't wanna be.
Well, if you wanna reschedule something, Ken's gonna know anyway.
Who's the one that tells Channel 3?
That's what I'm saying, is that I have all the,
It's in our thing that Dave would be calling.
Dave, do that?
you can't, it's not that easy. I have all the accounts for that, they're all under the clerk than they were before I came here. So all of that stuff is under the clerk email, but you have to link it to.
Yeah, we called them before too.
Oh, really? They let you
Yeah.
call? They don't let you
Yeah.
call anymore.
What do you gotta do?
You
We
have to
should
log into
probably
the
have more
online
than one
account.
person for that anyway, you should have several
Yeah.
people. Because if you can't get a hold of one, somebody needs to do it.
Well, there's 3 on here, so yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's good.
So I mean, that's it, but, and then the responsibility for that all falls under the board. So I can darken this in and make a copy and so I can even scan it in and email it to you.
Our emergency manager, I don't know if you had one on that for that, but that is gonna be Dave.
Emergency manager, I thought that might be under,
See, I think that's the difference between the weather and the emergency manager.
It's different than that. It's for
Yeah.
emergencies, like if there was a tornado, he's got all the resources. He's got everything that he
Yeah.
needs to be able to get a hold
Yeah.
of whoever he needs.
would that be under weather?
Well,
I think those are two
when
different
it's an
things.
emergency, I don't know if it's under, that would actually under weather, but if any type of emergency, you had a railroad car come off the road, that they,
Doesn't matter to me, I don't care. Emergency manager, so that would be the authority would be.
Dave, and then I'm behind you.
So it'd be the fire department?
Well, he's actually called the emergency manager in the
The
ordinance.
fire chief.
That's
Okay.
why I'm using
Fire
that. Well, he's
Fire
also the fire chief, but he's also the emergency manager.
Yeah, but the way that it's written, the fire chief is the emergency
Dave and
manager.
then you.
Yeah, I'm in the backup, and I'm basically logistics, if he needs funding or
Yeah, okay,
extra support in that, he's
right,
got a busy, he buzzes me and I get whatever he needs.
yeah, okay. So I think that kind of handles the non-statutory stuff.
Actually, it's good,
So this is
Gary.
what discussion, yeah.
So the question is the people that we have as the point people from the board, are those the people that are going to be doing the employee reviews?
They should be.
Yeah,
You know, if they're the responsible for them, they should do them.
And I
Along with-
feel like any employee reviews done should have at least two
Two
board
people.
members there.
Yep.
So the point person gets to ask another person to attend? Is that how we're going to do it?
sure.
Okay,
I don't care.
Actually,
so
why do you think you need two people on a review?
I don't know.
Why not?
Number one, we need
Why
to
not?
we need to standardize a review process. And the person that they report to should be,
I would, my personal preference would only have one, and this is why. It is not because, I don't think that the additional accountability is good. I like review systems that are 65 degrees and require, input from the employee and supervisory and everyone else. And when you bring two people, it looks like two people against one,
Right.
you're not gonna get as much input. So for me, it's more of I want it to be constructive and not just I'm telling you what you did wrong type thing.
Now, see, I look at it the other way, flip side of the coin. I want another person there to verify what they're talking to me about if I'm the person that's being interviewed. I don't want a one-sided conversation written
That's
down
true.
that wasn't said correctly. That's
The
my point.
protection of the employees.
We do that, I mean, at the cop shop, that's what you do. You have two people.
I've done many interviews with my employees and
I've never
I've
had
never
one.
been another person in there. Unless I needed a union representative on something I'm gonna talk to them about would be a violation of
Yeah, I was gonna say,
We're at a
for-
company.
our procedures.
yeah, but I worked for a government organization for many, many years,
So did I.
and I never
I
had two
think, I
people.
don't know if
that
it's accurate, but I think it's.
Did
okay.
I?
I think
Oh,
that-
no, I have.
If I'm in an interview and I'm finding out that things aren't going well, then I would probably stop the interview and say that we need another person.
I would like to say that for an annual review, I would prefer one-on-one. For a disciplinary action, there should be two people. That's my opinion.
When I did interviews, we had a standard thing you had to go through.
Right.
I used to take a blank one up to them, I put it on their desk and said, we're gonna have an interview on this day, I want you to fill this out and tell me
Well,
how
that's-
you're doing.
That's why I like the 365 degrees. of review.
Then what they do is they come in and give me theirs and I give them mine. And then we go through it and, you know, I tell them to be honest about what they think they're.
Well, if you do a 360, if we implement a 65 degree review process, then that will always be the case. They will always have to rate themselves. Their supervisor will always rate them, and the people that they work with will be provided with a survey to provide an input on how they're working. So you have everyone around them. Ideally, if there's you might even put out a survey for like Ruth and for Butch. You might put out a survey that asks for input from the people that come in and receive their services. So you're looking at literally the whole job.
Yeah, it could be, time consuming.
Mhm.
Hopefully, we don't need time consuming here.
No, just a light bulb went on, that's all.
Yeah.
Kind of a dim bulb once in a while.
But it's a good questionnaire about their job. And get you a long ways in knowing where they're at and how things are going.
Oh, I don't have a problem with reviews at all.
No, it's a
But
good
the
idea.
board's gonna have to review what we're gonna be handing out to people and
Right.
what we're gonna be viewing, and
Yeah, that's fine.
you're gonna have another shot at, what you wanna hear from people. Then maybe there'll be some that are different than others, should be different categories of what you'd be in. Did we kill this section?
I don't know, what are we looking at?
The board might discuss the term as non-statutory ordinance board member. I think he laid those out real good. The board needs to identify super points. I think he did that very well.
So are we down to 1-3?
Yes.
We're
So,
good with a
really
1-3.
quickly, say is that once we have that, I think we should bring it up at the next board meeting and actually vote on those on those. points
Well,
of
that's where
benefit.
I was thinking that in our budget, when we have our budget meeting,
Mhm.
I think we ought to integrate that in with our budget meeting so that we could go through that list there, and then after the meeting of that, we'll approve it. Okay, we're at, transfer station. Butch's travel trailer was broken into and TVs were stolen. Discussion on who pays for the items stolen from the RV. Is the township leasing the RV, or is there an agreement covering the lease?
I thought you were.
Yeah, I've got a comment.
Yeah. Why you got 2 TVs there? That
Yeah,
was my first comment.
I say no.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm gonna use a real-time example. My folks had a Holiday Rambler trailer, they took it down to Texas, they towed it down once in a while, got in the winter. And then they said, why are we towing this? Let's get a lot down there, leave the trailer down there all winter. I mean, all summer. No, all winter. Anyway, they went down there, warm when they were up here when it was warm, okay? Nobody was down there. They had insurance on their trailer. If it was broken into on the
Lot.
lot, it wasn't the companies, or it wasn't the lot manager's fault. Then they weren't liable. The owner of the trailer's liable.
So I don't even think we have, my personal opinion is we don't even have to get into liability of this at all. Yes, there was supposed to be a lease. I don't know that it ever got signed. I was looking all over the place for it because I thought it did.
We
but-
approved it.
Yeah, we approved it. Yeah,
What?
we did a long
We
time
approved
ago.
doing it. Yes, we did.
And
We voted on it.
I thought that I gave it to Butch to sign, but I don't have a sign. It's been a long time, so
When I was on the board,
yes.
I don't.
I remember we had
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, how much was the lease for?
Anyway,
It was gonna be,
here nor there. I don't, here nor there. 2 TVs have nothing to do with this job.
that's,
Right.
that's not in a public interest for him to have televisions
We
there.
provided the television down. there.
And where was the police report?
I still haven't seen that.
Yeah, it was reported on the 28th of February,
Well, and this is my other thing.
January.
Was there any proof of being broken into?
It'll be in the report. I've asked for the report.
Okay, so. My opinion is we do nothing because those TVs have nothing to do with this job.
I agree with that.
Oh, I
I would like to share a comment the planning a member of the planning commission and CBA made. She said, we're trying to clean up the township. Why do we have
A camper
a
there.
camper out there?
You know, I'm gonna throw this out real quick. I did some investigation on the transfer township proposal information. I don't have a date on there. But I know it was maybe a couple years ago. And this includes a 10x14 portable shed for the attendant. It includes a pre-built cable shed to store, I think 450 tires. I wanted to keep under Eagles regulations of 500. Yeah, that's what it's on. I just read it. One Poly John, brand new. It's a porta john. And one Ozark brand, self-contained hot water sink with its own hot water.
Well, if we do that, why not just put in a toilet?
And you need a septic tank,
Yeah,
and you need a drain field,
Yeah.
and a porta john,
It's
you don't
another
want to spend a lot of time in anyway.
it's not really, not for a
So-
tiny one if you were to.
So
do it
here's the
yourself.
thing. Finishing the inside of the shed for the attendant, another $1,000. I come up with $9,935. So roughly 10,000. So today, probably 15.
Mhm.
And
Isn't that what, didn't we approve something like that? Or?
no,
didn't approve it,
all I
but-
did is give it to the board and look at it.
Yeah, no, I think when we did our budget discussions, it was about
Talked about
15 that we
something
came up
like
with,
that.
yeah.
No, 20.
Oh, was it
20,000
20?
in there.
20's on there.
Is there grants for something like
There is, yeah, there is.
transfer station?
And then-
Yes, actually, we just received information about some grants.
And I read that, the recycling grant, but,
A whole bunch of grants. Now, my question is this.
and grants are,
They're not guaranteed, no.
No,
well, they cost money.
my
So,
question is this, for any of the board members. Did any of you let Kate know about these?
Kate gets all of the stuff that I get.
I want to know if any of you guys let Kate know about this.
About what? What specifically?
the email from the conservation district that goes out to everyone, including Kate.
Because I let Kate know, and I said, these are available.
Yeah, I'm
And
always
she said,
forwarding
"Oh,
her stuff.
thanks."
Yeah, she will, yeah. I forward her stuff all the time,
Yeah, okay,
so,
I'm just saying, and I've got some marked on here, once for scrap tires.
She
And-
sent us a bunch of grants.
she did, she sent us a whole bunch of follow. Kate is looking for direction from us on which grants to follow.
So I would just like to say, when you guys do read these, just read the whole thing so that you can
Yeah.
decide, are we gonna spin our wheels on this or not? Because do we need
Come up with-
$50,000 worth of infrastructure in place first? Do we need a full-time employee in place first?
Well,
I mean, you gotta look at those things
And some of these
realistically,
are $100,000 minimum.
right?
You know, and some of them are, matching funds or percentage of matching funds. So you have to look at all that. Now, the one thing in here that she asked about, and I don't know if anybody read it. But,
Recycling. Well, I would
it's,
recycle.
I know. Yep,
the scrap tire grant.
we already applied for that.
She applied for it, or it was applied for in 2022 as Eagle, communicated to the township, about the ward status.
No,
Is this an annual grant that can be applied each year?
yes,
It is. I'm gonna tell you something about Eagle that I know from 2 different occasions. You might as well hold your breath until you're turned about as blue as his shirt before Eagle's gonna get hold of you. Because they do not, and I mean, they do not call back, let you know, or anything else on it.
They should have a status update.
yeah. An automated email from them saying that the application was received and that they would reach back out.
Well, okay. One of the homeowners on our lake.
Well, that's, grants are
Eagle.
different than
It's
Eagle's
Eagle.
permitting.
It's the same department. And Eagle is the same organization.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, and also the problem that was on the county line or the
I know.
township line.
I know,
Same stuff,
I know.
and nobody said anything. And the guy on our lake, it's been a year.
I know. Eagle permitting is not speedy, but grants
No. so-
are processed within a certain period of time, so.
Well, we went from transfer station, then we moved on to
Yeah,
beyond
Okay,
that.
so anyway,
It's about paying for the TV and I got the thing, no.
no,
Yeah,
We don't need to vote on it. So after the transfer station, appoint members of the planning commission.
and my apologies on that. I didn't understand that that term was for the entire term that I was here. For me.
So just the 2 of them, Christie, that are up.
yeah,
I moved to appoint Bev Shear to the planning commission for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2023 to November 20th, 2024.
I'll
Can I
support.
get a second?
You got it.
Who got that?
Me.
Christie? Is that an all in favor, say aye?
No, I think it's a roll call because it's a position, but I could be wrong.
Okay, Gary?
Yeah.
Rhonda?
Yeah.
Kenzie, yes. Deborah?
Yes.
I thought that'd be a no.
Inside it is.
Christie?
Yes,
I move to approve Anita Manning to the planning commission for a 3-year term beginning January 1st, 2023 to December 31st, 2025.
I'll support.
I'll second.
Beverly, I was the one that made the motion.
Mhm.
She supported my.
So go ahead, support Rhonda.
Okay, and I gotta change my notes.
No,
Gary?
because Beverly said it first.
I said it. I said I moved to appoint Anita.
Yep, go,
Yeah,
go.
just go.
Gary's yes, Rhonda,
Yes.
Ken's yes. Beverly,
Yes, yes.
Christie?
Yes.
Okay, we got that done. Actually, read some of that Michigan Tax Tribunal or Michigan Township stuff, and they said if we didn't get the oath of office by our board of review members within 10 days, we have to do a reenactment of their approval and then get them to do that within 10 days. So
Isn't that, don't you just have to have them sworn in before they actually take the seat?
10 days after.
No, it's 10 days, but if you miss that window,
You miss that window, you have to reenact it according to the MTA. I didn't add that to it, but it's in the,
It is.
training and it's also in the law.
It's in the law. Mhm.
Yeah, so I move to appoint Lee Abernathy to the Board of Review for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2023.
Can you amend that to say Lee Abernathy, Mary Phelps,
Yeah,
Dixie
just-
Kovac?
Do I have to do one at a time or can I do them all?
At planning commission. we'll
Okay.
do one at a time.
I just made a motion
For 2
to
different
appoint
dates.
Lee Abernathy, Mary Phelps, Dixie Kovac, and Peter Stanislawski. Well, he's an alternate.
As,
right?
so you can say Lee Abernathy, Mary Phelps, and Dixie Kovac as members, and Peter Stanislawski as
Yeah.
alternate member.
That's the motion I made.
I'll support.
And you got a Bev supporting it. So they can, we can't do all in favor again. We got to vote.
Correct.
Gary,
yeah,
Rhonda,
Yes.
Ken, Beverly,
Yes.
Yes.
Christie. I'm starting to think I'd say you guys' name more than I do my dog.
Oh, no, can't be.
I moved to appoint Peter Stanislawski as an alternate to the Board of Review for a 2-year term beginning January 1st, 2023.
Wait,
You
we
already
already
did
did that.
Peter?
You already did
Yeah.
Peter. You did Lee, Mary, and Dixie as members, and Peter as an alternate member to the Board of Review for a 2-year
I
term.
did
He's
that.
thinking of that meatloaf.
I know.
I think Meatloaf is right. So we did 5. Now we're down to committees. Well, we're just talking about this, right? Grant, cemeteries, park, recreations, facilities and capital improvement plan, right? How are we gonna get committees? What can we do to entice committees? You guys wanna join a committee?
No.
No. If you're gonna come to the township board meeting, I mean, you must have spare time, right?
We need to leave the room.
Well, how would you like to be the planning commission member because she just walked away?
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's a way to get signed up for a committee.
So
Yeah, but I can't hold it, so.
you guys think that, is there any way that we can find people to join committees to help us, improve our township? Nobody wants to do that? No?
when we advertise in the paper,
Nobody answers the paper.
Nope, I've advertised on Facebook.
Our committees are fun.
they are.
Like recreation committee, well, work on the ball diamond. Run heavy equipment, road graders.
A newsletter
Backhoes.
and telling people about these.
I did that, and I put it in the last newsletter I did, which was a while ago. I put it in there. I got nothing.
Nobody wants to. They don't want to do nothing here.
I did have, so recently, and I'm gonna start doing it more, I posted something in Facebook, just as a clerk perspective, asking how people would like to receive their communications, and I was shocked when there were several of them that want to do coffee with the clerk. Or I'm assuming any board member, honestly, but, that was a little surprising for me.
Yeah.
Nope.
But there could be
Set 'em
a
up, I'll have
community
coffee.
day or something
Yeah.
like that, like a really
So
informal.
if you had an opportunity to meet a board member and have coffee with him in the morning, you guys would show up? Oh, I got one, so Jeff.
All right.
Maybe we should set up times where you can meet a board member.
Food, that's the way to get it.
And
We
then-
advertise that in reminder.
And then we can talk to them about the committees and the plans and see if we can get people to buy it that way.
And I haven't seen anything in regards to, I'm not on your Facebook, so that's the only place you're gonna put it. I'm not sure, I just said I would, and I won't be there. I'm not gonna leave it out there.
No, I-
So, getting it out some way needs to be a key
I'll put it
component.
in a reminder.
So like, we're looking at multiple ways and,
That's,
reminder, the website, email, because we have an email
Yeah,
list
coffee
too.
with the board.
So, and put it on the operation like that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay, I've got a novel idea.
You want a bigger bathroom?
No, it's, you're doing it.
We're just fine, but, in Head Start, we were required by our grant to have parent involvement.
Mhm.
Because it was good for the program, and what we ended up resorting to, because you can't always just get parent involvement. We would reward them,
Yep.
stipends, prizes, gifts. So I'm
Unless-
not suggesting
Unless
prizes
they're
and
foster
gifts.
parents, because if they're foster parent, never mind.
I do well with bribery. That's,
So, we put like a thing underneath the chair, like a gift certificate, and then people come in, and then at the end of the meeting, we say, look under your chair, here, and they can get a prize.
these seats would probably be full if you did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we'll see, we'd probably have it on that chair.
Public acknowledgement. When you do get a committee, you know, a little ad and a reminder occasionally thanking them
Yep.
for the time they give, stuff like that. Certificates to them, lunches for them, different
Well, I think
tangible.
coffee with a board member or
Well, I had wanted to do trustee tea, just because
trustee tea.
I think tea is cool
And we could do two board members at a time, so I would say we could do coffee with the clerk and tea with the trustee at the same time.
Oh, coffee, but C with, yeah, C and T.
Okay, do we kill the committees?
C and T,
Um,
Columbia Township.
Hey, I'll pay for the ad on the morning coffee thing and the reminder.
Mid-morning coffee. She does
Don't invite her.
coffee after tea.
Don't invite her, no one, I'll get a word in. Just to talk about her problems.
We have plenty of space in here. We can have a little coffee spot over there, a little tea spot over
But Ken,
there.
my problems are the township's problems though, so let's be clear on that.
Mhm. All of us are, yeah.
Yeah,
You
that's
could have
right.
moved your house to a different
Not
location.
my personal problems.
So, okay, so we're going to try to do these,
Yeah.
schedule some times.
Yeah, I'll pay for that. Next time you pay for it with my credit card, though, don't have them coming after me telling me I didn't pay, and I'm like, well.
Give me your credit card, I'll pay for a few things.
Okay,
So how are we gonna get committees? Did you guys decide?
we decided we're gonna have people with coffee, and we're gonna talk about committees that they can be on, and how they can help us, and how we can help them, and blah, blah, blah.
And I actually,
That's what's the real problem.
Karen mentioned having a community day too, you know, maybe that's something we can try to work on. That's not an immediate, we'll need some planning, but if we did a
I
community
think we
day
ought to have a free community thing.
and we put, you know, certificates under the chairs, maybe we could get people here.
Oh, we did that before, we give up gift baskets and
Well, do you have,
I even got a thank you card from someone in Kalamazoo.
have a door prize, raffle off at night.
Yeah.
Anyways, move on.
Yeah.
Notices of the South Haven Tribune. I think I sent everyone a copy of the emails that I sent to our attorney about the South Haven Tribune and the issues that we're having with the lack of circulation in our township. And some of our notices seem to keep it not published the way that we have written them. And they first come back and said that we had to go with a newspaper, that we could use the reminder for our advertisements. For legal. And then we had a few more discussions and it's like the board can decide to use the reminder. But there is some liability that you might have by somebody saying that they didn't get their due process because it wasn't a legal thing in the South Haven Tribune, and your argument would be that the South Haven Tribune doesn't circulate in your township, while the reminder does. And then you never know what's gonna happen, but it might be there's risk. So I didn't make anything up to have that would be like a resolution that would lay out why we're doing what we're doing and what court cases are out there that would allow us to ensure that we do proper notifications and why we're going to something that doesn't, why we're going to a local shopper guide that does circulate in our township and not a newspaper that doesn't circulate.
Well, I would say the risk is involved is probably the same level using either one, because if you use the South Haven Tribune and they don't put the right stuff in there, you're at risk there as
We'll
well.
probably have more risk.
Yeah, and what you all don't know, because I didn't communicate out that I already had problems with the last posting. I sent it immediately, the day after our meeting, and asked them to post it an extra week early, and they forgot to post it all together.
And then they
And
only
then
have
they
one
screwed
page.
it up the second time.
I personally visited the South Haven office,
Yeah.
so that'll tell you something.
No, man, even the Herald Palladium, though, it's just been issues for years,
Well, the same
As long
people
as
do the
I've
Herald
been
Palladium as
around.
do the Tribune,
been problems with them.
so.
And I've noticed other townships around us are doing public hearing notices instead of giving a reminder.
Notices, everything else in there.
So I am in favor of us creating some sort of a resolution that specifies the types of notices and what we should be doing with each. Because there are, like the attorney pointed out, we could do for board of review notices that has to be posted in 5 locations, and the reminder we meet our requirement. Some other notices, you can post them in 3 places, and it meets our requirement. Other things like ordinances still have to be posted in the South Haven Tribune.
And probably anything to do with tax increases, like the special assessments, things like that.
Special assessments are different because they actually get a notice from us mailed to them.
And there is a public notice or a public meeting.
Okay,
So,
that's what I meant, the public hearing.
so anyway, I would say that the resolution should detail out what we're going to do for each type of notice, if that's what we're going to do.
What if I give you the wording to put it there and then you list the criteria? In other words, I'll do the body and you put which one gets what.
Sure.
Yeah. I'll work on that. I'll try to have something prior to our next board meeting. Budget's coming up. 2 board meetings from now, in April.
Yeah, it's not a big thing.
Question is, should we put this Great Bear Lake notice in the reminder this week instead of, or at least once in the reminder before the hearing instead
I
of,
would.
I did put an ad just this last weekend in for this one.
yeah,
I would say that we don't have a resolution in place. I think we still have to post it in the Tribune.
what I'm saying is we don't do it in the Tribune, we just had a reminder for at least one of those. But
Well,
not,
that's,
maybe not the whole thing, but just a
I was gonna
smaller.
say, can I just put a link in, like a link and the dates like I did for this one?
I would say what the subject matter is, and it's
Yeah.
just gonna be what you're gonna be at the hearing for, and then see link, whatever, yeah. That would probably be a good thing. Okay, I think we killed South Haven. 1-8,
This looks like a renewal.
It's not a renewal.
it's a brand new one, that's,
But it's
MEC, internet, right?
Yay.
So MEC is looking for, my understanding, although I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to be doing with it. MEC is requesting right of way on all of the routes that they're going to be laying fiber. And it looks like they have some court orders in there to do that. I don't know.
Well, this original application was revised in 2015, so it's not anything new. So I think it's that they have to re-up it.
They don't,
Want a motion?
I'm a little confused by that because it's from my understanding, they don't have anything.
It looks like they're just crossing their i's and dotting their
That's it.
t's.
Yeah. It's no different than, Bloomingdale Communications when they were laying fiber.
That there's no reason.
I
we
never
should-
got something like this from Bloomingdale Communications.
Are they saying we have to sign something?
They're saying that they're requesting a permit, and I don't know what, I don't know what to give them.
Bilateral permit, Columbia Township, right away.
Is it for just our land? Township land?
No, it's for all land in our township that falls along their map.
Did, any explanation come with this? Did they send you an email?
So if you look in one of them, it has a link to look for additional information, but the link's broken. So that wasn't helpful.
Ken, you're the,
Well, I'm pretty sure that they have to get this from the
utilities
as well.
guy.
So they have to get it from the county and the township, because township has their own secondary
It
road.
looks like they have a permit in here that just needs to be signed.
Yeah. It looks like it would be signed
I
by
don't
Ken
know.
and clerk.
Yeah, but I don't know if they sent their $500 or not, so that's the other issue. That we need to find, I need an answer on. Yeah,
So. So it's a permit that they have to pay for.
they said they sent $500 for the permit. Although that baffled me too, because we don't have a fee schedule for this, so I don't know where they came up with $500,
Or
but.
maybe they deal with other areas that
Well, I'm sure
they
they
think.
do, they probably do in the county and. They'll deal with Bloomingdale Township, they'll deal with, Waverly and Arlington, I don't know about Waverly for sure.
What I did find is that they were supposed to mail this to us, and they did not, they emailed it. So,
Well,
We,
you know, it is what it is.
we received their fax
Yeah,
before we do anything.
yeah.
Why, if we don't have this in our fee schedule? Why are we going to deny them a right-of-way permit when they're going to be giving internet? To our community where Bloomingdale can't serve? I mean,
well, if they said
Really?
they said they sent it, so I would
Yeah.
like to know that they're telling the truth.
Yeah, so I'm gonna look in the general deposits.
to me, that's like a moot point, because we don't have it in our fee schedule. We don't even have this as. So they just
I guess
came
the
up with
question is,
$500?
are we going to issue the permit or not? That's really the question.
I don't see there any harm signing this agreement.
You don't have the money.
Huh? I missed something good, I think, but I can live without it, I guess.
I would move that permit be authorized by the board to sign, in lieu of receiving a $500 check for payment.
In lieu of, or if it's received?
Yeah.
We might have
Yeah.
received it already.
I don't see why the. You guys did see this section here of 45 days to act.
Yeah, but the problem is that 45 days is supposed to be from when they mailed it to us, which they did not.
The data provider files an application for a permit.
Yeah,
Well, I don't see a dates on it, is there a date on the,
So here's my question, would we would we stop this if they don't pay us $500?
if they don't have a permit?
okay, we have point of order. We need a second. Did somebody second?
Oh, I thought we had a second.
I'll second. There you go.
Okay, time for discussion then.
Yes.
So why would we hold this up for a fee that we don't even have on our books that we charge?
Because they said they sent
Because they
a
said
check
they
for
sent it.
$500. So obviously they've done this with other townships.
So my point is it's, for me, it's just a matter of making sure that I don't want to issue a permit to an organization that's going to lie to us.
Well, I do if they're going to give the rest of the township internet. Don't tell me that Louisville has never said anything false to any public people, so I'm just gonna go there with that and be done with that. So who's gonna follow up on this and call them to make sure that this is gonna happen?
No, we don't have to call them. Rhonda just has to look. their
I'm gonna
records.
look in the drawer for the check.
So you don't even know if the check hasn't come?
Right. We don't know for sure. I gotta look.
She thinks she remembers it
If
coming
we
in.
got
but
the
I don't
check, we'll
remember.
sign the thing and move
So
it on.
can we make a motion then to?
Gary did, we're waiting for a second, you seconding that?
She did it.
Yeah, I'll second.
Then why are you talking?
Because I don't want you guys to screw this up.
Rhonda,
Yeah.
Ken, yes, Bev,
Yes.
all that for yes.
Yes.
Long night. I'm
It's,
gonna be
it's
making
not like we're
meatloaf
giving
short.
them hundred and some $1,000, it's
Okay, you guys stayed around a long time,
500.
that's gonna be quiet.
No,
Is
she's
that a
not.
comment for us?
Question, I'm trying to get a special use permit and this getting hold of Beth is like impossible. Like, what do I do?
Yeah, here's a little background, if I may. The one piece of property in town where there was a little white modular on the corner, kitty corner from
Lonnie
Rick's place.
Rick, like,
Yeah. Somebody took that out of there and removed it.
yeah,
This gentleman bought the property, correct? He wants to put in a landscaping,
Or
what would you call it? Something like
landscape supply.
landscape supply on that corner with different landscape supplies, okay? So apparently, he came in here and asked somebody for the permit.
To begin with, Ken gave me a building permit and I turned that in. She said that's the wrong permit, so I turned in a special use permit now. And I've been
you
waiting.
should have had a zoning, I thought I gave you a zoning compliance.
No, you gave me a building permit. I paid the $60.
He has to have a special use.
She
You
denied
need a
that.
special use,
I turned
Is it
in the special
scheduled?
use.
the planning commission looked
I
at
did
it.
not know that the application for the special use had come in yet. So,
6th of January.
okay.
Did you know anything about it?
Gary said I should have heard something within a month or.
Shouldn't there be a zoning zoning compliance or something? The best should know?
Beth should be putting it on the planning commission's agenda.
Okay,
So why do they need a special use permit? Where is it at? I'm not familiar with where Lonnie Johnson's property is.
I'm not even 100% sure that special use is the exact thing that they need.
That's what she said after I turned in.
well, that's in the commercial district.
It's in the commercial district, but I'm not sure it's one of the listed uses.
Well, that's
So-
where Beth would come into play.
Correct.
So Beth needs, you know where Rick's Tractor Supply was?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Kitty corner.
Kitty corner from
To
that,
the
there's
north.
a little white house on the corner.
Northwest,
It's vacant,
It's vacant lot.
vacant lot. now.
used to be a double wide there that got moved.
Yeah, this gentleman bought the property. So he's trying to establish some more business for the town. and get some more revenue for us, okay, and help out the community. And the poor guy is getting the runaround.
I just don't know. What's
I
the
don't
time?
supervise that.
No, 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 you don't.
No.
You will after next month. All right.
Um,
I could dump it.
But my.
So I will, how about I call Beth tomorrow?
She's not returning home.
Yeah,
Oh.
you can't, that's the problem, you can't get a hold.
You'll be able
Her
to.
office people have called her, they can't get a hold of her, they said she was supposed to be here last Wednesday, doesn't show up. I've emailed, you guys called, I've called. Nobody here.
I was not aware that this was still hanging out. I just talked to her last week, so I guess I can try to get a hold of her.
I actually have something else I need to ask her about for planning commission anyway, just,
Well, who
you don't mind, what do you,
who would issue the special use permit?
it would be,
Right.
that's an application, and then they have to have the hearing
Go through it to
in
make
front of
sure
the
that
planning
the
commission,
use and everything goes there,
but it has to start with Beth.
Yeah,
yeah,
now shouldn't,
so but she should have done something by now.
well, if she's aware of it,
Yeah, that's,
I'm sure
that's-
she's aware of it,
okay,
well, I put it on her desk. I talked to her about it,
what,
but you
I
put,
thought it was taken care of.
no, you put the building application.
say,
That's
building-
different.
Yeah, and then I knew, that-
And she denied that
yeah,
because it wasn't an authorized, yeah. An approved use.
but she, like I said, she knows what's being asked, right? And it's been a long time.
Would
Yeah, I
it be
think the
helpful for the minutes
Do you-
for them to say a name and an address?
Yeah. Yeah,
I know what it is.
Yeah, but not everybody up there. does.
Ro-
These are free
Rawson, yeah.
It's on the permit,
Mhm.
the application.
Max. Problem,
She
she's
may,
gonna volunteer.
she may need to talk to the planning commission before she can schedule the special use.
well, whatever hoops.
Okay, Chrissy, you're gonna talk to Beth, you're gonna find out what's going on, and
I thought,
Has anybody given you?
we can both talk to her.
Commercial.
yeah, because you got other things you want to talk
Section of
about.
the ordinance,
Yeah,
before you develop that.
but you can tell me their name.
I think the biggest struggle is that. Landscape supply is not receiving a zoning ordinance anywhere. So the color of
The state supply is good enough.
they're gonna have to validate the plan, you should be able to do that.
You guys gotta do that first before you can say yes or no.
The planning commission has to deal with it before you can say yes or no.
Would you come up and give Beth your name so she can call and check on it?
It's Beth Ross and I have all the information.
But I'm still confused why it's a special use though.
I have it right here. You know what? I'll just, hold on.
Beth will explain it, she'll have it all.
27, 26. It will not be probably quite as confusing once our new zoning ordinance is passed. But right now.
I don't think, I don't think that's the answer, that's overused.
Just a
Our
minute.
zoning ordinances weren't that awful,
I don't think,
and the new ones are gonna be a while, so this is,
I know.
we should be able to deal with now.
Mhm.
yes, I will print the section for you so you
Because
can,
there are other businesses there, so.
I will print the sections for you so you can understand the problem. Okay, maybe we should, this is public comment, not public, we can deal with this after the board meeting, that's what I'm
So
saying.
they've waited a couple.
No, like right now, we can deal with it, but after we adjourn.
We'll deal with it. Hang on. We're gonna go to correspond, yeah, public comment.
Well, it's not so much public comment, I should probably should have done some of the fire department, I've emailed everybody. What the fire department wants to do with that, the NFG grant we have, 11,333.32. Because I can't do anything anymore without a PO, I've applied for a PO to buy that training door and I still don't have a PO. I have to spend that grant pretty soon, I don't want to lose a grant, so I really need a PO to get this thing ordered. That's $7,500 worth of that 11,000.
That looked like a pretty nice unit.
Yeah, it's pretty, I've talked to a couple of departments that have it, and they love it. But I really need to.
Sent
get
you
that
an
going.
email.
That was,
A PO, you mean a purchase order?
yeah,
Mhm.
I can't do anything anymore without a purchase order.
Sent you an email about it, about the stuff that you wanted,
Babysitting and micromanaging.
Recently?
like, last week.
Or approved. So everybody agreed with it, so I don't know why, but.
You need a purchase order, or is the purchase order already been made?
The board has to approve it.
We
Board
already
has to
approved
approve
it.
it?
No, you
Was it
didn't,
ever on the agenda?
no,
No.
Why, I emailed everybody, and I mean,
yep,
All right, so can we put this on our schedule for the special meeting for the budget, or?
we're gonna have to have a,
We can't amend the agenda tonight, right?
no, we need to have a special meeting.
When do you need this approved by?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago?
Need to start closing on that, okay?
When did you get it?
That weekend that I met with him, the week after that, I sent you an email about it,
A week ago?
roughly, I don't know exactly.
Well, doesn't matter. That's grant money that we're gonna lose if we don't get it approved.
That's my
How much is
understanding.
it?
His
The-
grant was $11,300 and some odd dollars, and the training unit is $7,500.
The
So
PO
there's extra money in the grant.
The PO would be for the $7,500 one. However, he's not met the requirements of the PO, which is why I sent you the email. Because the requirements of the purchase order he says that he has to have, at least attempt to get additional bids, and he did not.
He only had one bid for the grant.
So I emailed it to you asking how you wanted to handle it, so you wanna check that.
Why don't we do the grant?
Well, this isn't a
But it's
bidding,
less
it's
than
a
$11,000.
sale of a unit. There's,
Did he, could he just say why he only got one bid? Is it specialized equipment where?
This is not my decision, I sent it on because it needed to be dealt with, and I wasn't going to make a decision by myself.
when I looked at the link that went to the manufacturer, they're the ones that manufactured it. I don't know if anybody else has done it.
Well,
So to get,
how do we add this to the agenda right now and do this? If you got grant money that we don't wanna lose, we need to do something to get that in here and approved tonight while we're all here. We got all 5 board members, we ought to be able to add this and take care of it.
We have to move, you have to roll call, and everybody has to be in agreement.
Well, let's find out if everyone's in agreement.
In other words, you have to roll call, that's just the way it is.
Okay, roll call to add it. Gary,
yes.
Rhonda,
Yes.
Ken, yes. Beverly,
Yes.
Christie,
Yes,
okay. Now it's just for the $7,500.
I have to go get all the information, hold on.
I can't get in my email or I would, but,
Yeah, put your name in there.
no, yeah, the password, I don't have it saved in it. Check it.
Was Dave notified that there was an issue?
He asked me to put it on the agenda. I forwarded the information saying, this is what I have.
But it's not on the agenda.
Correct.
You have attachment with that?
Yeah, but we're working on it.
Terrible headache. Dave's got a sore throat, so I'm gonna test when I get home, just in case. We've been lucky all this time.
Are you two guys in business? Cause you're the tree guy, right?
I'm the stump guy, he's the tree guy.
It's not
Oh,
just,
okay.
We're same family, we're not together,
Okay.
we're here together, but we're not.
Oh, you kind of keep
I
it in
just,
the family
you guys
tree.
are a lot more boring, when Gordon here, I gotta tell you, I used to just come for the soap opera that was our township meeting, so when Max said, you wanna go with me, I hadn't been in a while, since COVID.
Yeah.
Everything kind of just got all bad, so we hadn't, I used to just come all the time anyways, and then we just kind of fizzled out again when COVID happened.
Yeah.
there it is.
And we hadn't been
Yeah.
coming since, so I'm like, yeah, I'll go.
Yeah, that was
It's a lot
tough.
more boring. Before I
I
had.
think I got the request.
Like,
It's a-
Mr. Baxter, the first time I came, he said, are you here just to listen, or you got something to say? I said, I'm just here to listen. He's like, oh, and then he sat there for a minute, he said,
He did
that's
it
why I
like
come too, because it's better than TV. So, ever since then, I just started going, you know.
Oh, that's funny.
How to pop doors.
Yeah,
and that kind
he
of
was
stuff,
in, like,
if they're locked. And
Did
if
you
they're
know he
window
passed
bars.
Yeah,
How,
yeah.
Right.
practice cutting them and that sort of thing. It's
He stopped and brought me a
it's
book,
pretty good deal.
and I still have it, it was something
And
like
75
rules and whatever for this, he's like, you need to run for something down there, and I'm gonna give you this
Yes.
book.
Will you?
What?
Dave stopped at last election, Dave stopped and asked me about something, I'm like, some people are mean, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
You remember, everybody that was here before,
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, I don't want a part of that.
I don't know what shipping is or
Yeah.
anything else, but.
Mean, huh?
But yeah.
Well, it probably should be.
They were, well,
Oh,
the-
I'm sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I got a copy, but I'm looking at it now.
Thanks.
We haven't got the grant money yet.
I haven't. I haven't seen anything about the grant other than what Davis said that he received a grant.
He
That's
said
all I
it's
know.
approved.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like to have the money before I.
Well, I was assuming already, I thought you already had the money.
I have not,
Is there money in the budget to cover that? Under that area?
But not on a line.
You borrow from one place and they.
I can't help it. I need to go home.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, you see, this is.
we gotta cover our bases.
This is normally $8,200, so they're not gonna $700 off of this.
I do remember
I'm
that
ready to
email
prove
that Dave sent to everyone and I,
His frustration was clear.
But I,
Like
you know, if the grant doesn't come through, we're gonna have to pick it up out of our budget, so we'll make sure.
yeah,
Nothing to do with this anymore.
Make sure we got money or.
Apologize on behalf of whatever.
that's what I was,
That is to get,
ditto.
give you his
The state
contact
grant,
info, you're gonna talk to her.
training and
She said she'll take care of it, well, then she can take care of it too, so you can both bring up
Right.
two.
We'll double team it.
Exactly. So when
Giving
there's-
that something to-
I got it. Well, that's cool, but if she can get it too, that's even better,
Yeah,
Yeah.
right? You know,
he should know, I mean, if he
Yeah.
You said you're talking. So
Yeah.
One of you get a hold of her. I remember I said, come down here to get a hold of Chuck, you wouldn't answer the phone. Somebody else called it answer. I need a building inspection, Chuck.
Oh, that's why.
So,
Got the money,
Yeah.
and this guy was pulling his bid away because he hasn't bought it yet.
Oh,
Cause that grant goes on, I
Well,
mean,
Christie to do it, my area is to get my bond.
$1,000 coming from the grant.
It was a year trying to get a bond
Says
because
it's gotta be
we
spent in a.
didn't want a driveway there.
Yeah, I remember that.
And what is
Oh,
it?
I remember that variance. I was on the plan commission.
Well, then, did he send it out today?
Yeah.
It's gotta be bought.
Yeah, I couldn't remember, but it was just, come on, what's happening?
I mean, when,
You know?
Yeah.
when's it in?
So,
When does the?
Yeah, sometimes those things.
Well, when did he
they-
have to have that in to meet his grant requirement?
it's so time
Well, I don't
consuming,
know,
I
but
guess,
it's something
they-
that's
everything takes so long.
Yeah, it's
And
frustrating,
then when
believe
it's
me. Huh?
just people not calling back or not answering,
You and
then it's
Christie.
even more.
That's very-
Upsetting.
It's like trying to call.
I
phone
even-
call.
I remember having a conversation about this, like, I asked if the grant was awarded, and
Rhonda, would you know if you got any money in on a grant?
No, I know it didn't.
It did not, because that would have.
They
Well,
probably.
I don't know when they, why they would require us to purchase something, and then we have to send the bill to them to get the grant.
Sometimes they're a reimbursement grant, I don't know. A lot of grants require that you spend so much money first.
Yeah, they do. But he filled his purchase order out 2/11.
He did or somebody else did?
Looks like
This
Dave.
doesn't look like Dave's writing, is it?
Oh,
211 is when they did this.
yeah, I don't know. Did you fill it
Oh,
out?
maybe it is.
Well, if it had to be signed by you, why didn't he bring it to me to sign
That's a good question.
Yeah.
it? You know, I'm available 24/7.
Fire grant money.
We have not received any funds. The only, I included the email. The last page, it says, this is all the info I have.
Well,
This is all I've received from him about the grant.
like Beth said, though. You usually have to spend
This is
a certain amount of money before they release the grant money.
Well, I'm not saying that for a fact. I would have no
Well,
way of
I won't
knowing
say
without
that.
seeing the grant.
Oh, well, I wouldn't say that.
A lot, all grants are different. Some grants you have to
Right.
provide bids before they cut you money and you can't spend any money until after you receive the grant. Some grants are reimbursable, so you have to spend the money first and then get reimbursed. I have not seen the actual documentation for this grant.
But nobody's doubting it exists or that it was.
I had to sign for the grant. And I didn't know if we got it or not, and then he told me that we got it. So I believe we got it, but I don't have anything.
Where is a copy of this?
Huh?
You signed for a grant, where's a copy of it?
Good question.
An application.
Thought I gave it to you.
I've never received anything about
It
it.
was last summer.
Yeah, I just flipped through all of my stuff, trying to find the lease that I thought was signed, and I did not see grant in there anywhere either.
Well, what are we gonna do?
Let's let you be the boss and call the shots.
Well, we got grant
Decide.
money, I know what to do, but
What motion are you making?
I just don't like the idea of,
Well, he says we have that.
What is the grant? All I know is a grant, so do we know what the name of the grant is?
it was, one that went along with the virus.
We could bring this up in our special budget meeting, which I'm assuming is going to be soon, or
Well, somebody got a.
We
notice
could
that-
call Dave and ask him, what the heck, Dave, what's the name of the grant? What are the conditions? When does it end?
Yeah, that's what we need to know. We can't vote on something we don't know anything about.
But 10 days ago, it was already incredibly time sensitive. According to him.
Can we call Dave on speaker? That would be not legal, would it?
Why not?
Because he'd be participating in the meeting remotely.
He can. He's
Oh,
got
he
board
can,
members.
we can't. Right. Right. Well, what the heck? Maybe that's what we should do, call him. Anybody remember Flintstones?
You bet.
Yup. I don't know why my mind is going there. I just wanted to say yabba dabba doo.
You are tired, aren't you? Yes.
Henry, I messaged him and asked him what the name of the grant was. Do you want to reach out to him? I'm gonna go get the copies of the stuff for these guys. They don't have to wait another half an hour.
Well, contact information is right down the bottom of this thing. Whitmer Public Safety Group, Inc., out of Pennsylvania, got a phone number, a fax number, an email address.
So you guys, landscape supply, what do you,
That's all him, that's his.
like mulch and like ag or bulk or?
Now, are you planning on fencing it?
If I need to, I guess, yeah.
The what?
If I need to, I can.
Okay, well, I
Yeah,
can
tomorrow,
see people
nothing they
coming,
might
I can see people
require me to
coming
do
up for a midnight discount.
Oh, yeah, I can guarantee you that.
Mm,
I'm sure your cop will be all over it.
yeah.
He'll take great care of me.
Yeah.
But that's when I remember when that property was for sale, Christie commented on it that, oh, and it's also great because it's a commercial overlay, so you can do either one.
Right,
And then,
right.
so originally, he and I were looking at getting it to put storage in it. And I said, well,
Okay.
can we apply for a variance? And they said, you can't apply for a variance until after you own it. And I said, well, we're not gonna buy it unless we can get that.
Right,
Well,
right.
then you can't do it, and we're like, never mind, when he did it for this. And that's what she said, is commercial overlay, so you can do whatever. Well, it turns out maybe you can't, I guess, so, you know, that is just about as frustrating as the first one, you know, so. But it's just putting up barriers and wood chips and some stone and stuff, I don't really see how it could be.
Yeah, you probably just put those concrete things in there and then put.
Yeah, well, because it is a commercial overlay. In a residential, you know, it's mixed use, that might have some bearing on it.
Is somebody going to get with Dave meanwhile?
What uses are permitted by policy.
No, I'm looking for the grant, because I signed it in September. I did an electronic signature on the grant.
And you send it back to whoever you did to get it.
I sent it to the state of Michigan, on electronic signature on September 30th. So they got it then, and then he came back and told me that they got it.
Planning commission will have to make a finding, and that
You didn't have.
can happen at the next board, or their next commission meeting. And then once they make a finding, then you'll be notified if your special use permit can be reviewed. And then they'll contact you the next, or probably for the next meeting. So you guys meet February, we've already met February, so it's the first, or second, it's the second Thursday, right? Second Thursday of each month.
This isn't even the right version, Chrissy.
Yes,
This
it
is
is.
the 2007,
No, this is the correct version,
is it?
yes.
Then why doesn't it say 2021 on a,
Revised 21, amended 10, 12, 15, 18, 20. So on and so forth. Depending upon the page.
21, okay. Yeah, because I know we removed Gil and Brian Wells.
So you should have an update
Dave will take a call from.
after the second Thursday of March, and then hopefully they can hear the second Thursday.
Not to bring it in here because I just text messages all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what you have to ask for?
I would mean.
Do you know what you have to ask Dave for?
I'm gonna bring it on here, put him on speaker. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry.
Guys,
Have a good evening.
thank you. I think that's already passed.
So, all right.
You see what the problem is,
No,
right?
I don't, because you can't list every possible use
Correct.
in a zoning
means-
ordinance. That doesn't mean that it's disallowed.
I didn't say it was disallowed. I said you can make a finding. The planning commission has to,
Well, you would have to anyway, even if they were on the list, because it's special use by permit.
correct, they can't even file a special use until you make a finding as to whether it falls under special use or not. You have to make a finding as to where it falls first.
And you're getting that information from,
Talk to Beth. I don't have the energy to
okay,
argue.
I'll find out myself.
Okay, I'm getting Dave on the phone here. Can you guys hear that?
Yeah,
That's not on, is it? That's on.
yeah, that's on.
We put the fire training device on the agenda and we're in the process of trying to approve this.
I just forwarded you an email from the Michigan Treasury regarding all the information for the grant.
Then, you sent that to me?
Yeah, I just emailed it. I go back and I.
They granted you the money, right?
332. Training on recruitment grant, we received the grant in the amount of $11,333.32. You can email from the Department of the Treasury.
Well, I got your email here. I'm trying to figure out which one is the one that approved it. Acceptance form?
Does he know he's on?
Okay, this is on May 19, 2022.
I hope he knows he's on speaker.
19, 2022.
He told them.
Congratulations, you said the applicant of the grant for the first responder.
And in the email, I think if you go in and look, two emails down, it says the Treasury has received the electronic acceptance form, please see attached, and it's from Dave Finks. And you had signed and sent in the acceptance form.
I remember sending in the acceptance form.
Yep.
Email to accept grant was sent to supervisor on Friday, the 20th. Then when does this expire?
April 13th, I think.
So you need this tonight, right?
Yeah. Really appreciate it. Like, get it ordered.
So the email to accept the grant was sent to the supervisor on Friday, May 20th, and again on 6/8. Oh, that was to prove it. And then I filled it out.
Yeah.
I received the notification, Clemmy Thompson has chosen to be a recipient of the grant. Yeah, you said you got a notification of acceptance of the grant.
Yep.
I never got that. Sent it to you. And that notification was on what? Paper or?
email and I'll have to dig it up, find that.
I need all of the grant paperwork from someone.
Is that the acceptance form?
Yeah, for records.
Yeah,
Yeah, here's congratulated, be sent a grant from the state of Michigan first responders. The grant amount of
I'm
award
happy with
letter is $1,100.
I'm happy with it.
No, they can't.
yeah.
Yeah, I just read where you're being, congratulated.
Yeah.
Signed by the chief executive officer of the state of Michigan.
Oh, well, I-
7/22. State to you and me, Treasury has received the electronic acceptance form, please be attached.
That I don't have.
I will forward that to you right now. This is her one through space as we speak. Sent an email on 11/7 that said I've been regularly checking my trash, junk, and spam folder, haven't received it regarding the grant yet. That was at 4:10. 4:51, they responded with the treasurer has received the electronic acceptance form, please be attached.
I don't have an email from you yet, Dave. I got the first one, not the second one.
So they issue a grant and give you less than 2 months to spend the money.
He said it's still April. April what?